Get the heater going here so we can work on this 6420. Work is continuing on this tractor. We're trying to get the interior in this tractor, and I have never had a John Deere that I have hated this bad for reupholstering. So this is a 6420 2006, kind of a one-hit wonder tractor. These were 10s or 6400s, and then they became 10s and 20s, of course 30s, and they started coming out the letter designations thereafter. But the 6420 and 30 were pretty close with a few changes. And in fact, this cab actually carries on to current date with the like 6120M that we have, which would be kind of a modern day replacement for this. And what's frustrating me is this cab, we have literally fought for almost 3 days to just do a small amount of the interior. And I got the headliner in it, smash finger to boot. I get the headliner in it here, and it doesn't fit worth a crap. I'll show you guys why in these cutaway pictures. When this cab is built, it's obviously built as a welded together ROPS structure with interior going in first. Now if you're interested in this or have these same tractors and want to screenshot those, you can look at those cutaways and you can see this is a ROPS structure, the steel frame. The steel frame has a square up there, and in the European models that's an escape hatch, or basically kind of like a moonroof. And during that square, we had to compress this seat and put it in here with like a shop crane. But obviously you can see that square is designed to drop that seat straight down in. Then they put the headliner up and under, put the corner posts in, and then they put this black plastic trim panel right here, screws on here, and it goes around this one piece up around the windows. They put that on, which trims the interior out, and then they drop this black plastic roof, which is what they actually technically call the roof. The green shell, that's just like a cap. They put that on after that, and then they finish dressing this trim with the fenders. Now how stupid is that? And you can also see this windshield and everything actually swings out on these hinges. It swings out, but it's attached, and it has that same panel up under it. It compresses the seals. Very, very cheap design, and you can tell this is all done for the idea of manufacturing. Build you a square steel ROPS, set your interior in, build it out, put this in, pop your outside on, trim it out, drop your roof cap on. But what do you do when you go to replace this shit? You can't work on it. So like this cubby hole here in the corner, you can see how it actually pops up underneath of this trim, and there's 2 screws up here that hold this, and there's in your ROPS structure, steel bar, and this is where that square hatch is at, where you can drop the seat down. So I tried to put it up underneath the black here first, then tip it up under. Well, there's no way in hell they'll do this. So you have to put it this way, then like I say, but at the factory, they're trimming it after the fact. Now you may wonder, why did we redo the interior? Well, the fact that the headliner was clear to your face and dissolved and missing in 2 large mouse nests is the reason why. Not a bad looking interior when it's complete, but to get it put together is an abomination from hell. Then we had to replace the shift knob button here. These were ripped off. I don't know, somebody got a little violent with their shifters. We bought this. It's got a little computer chip in there. Well, it's not responding. You know, we actually had John Deere ears. We thought they had to be programmed, and it doesn't. Turns out it doesn't have to be programmed. I think they just sent us a bad switch. So frustrations after frustrations. So that'll be getting switched out with another part. Send that back as defective. Hope it works. We got all the other plastic and trim cleaned up and put together. I swear every single part of this interior has been subbed. You go to look at it, it's like subbed headliner, subbed at this, subbed at that, subbed at this. Well, what I'm fighting on right now was just getting the headliner back and these corner posts to boot. So I can tuck it underneath this black lip here, but I can't get it under here. And I was literally, I don't know what I could bench press, maybe 300 pounds if on a good day. I don't know. But when you're taking something and I'm holding it up, or trim panels, and I'm pushing harder than I would have to push to move that weight on a bench press, and that's to get a cardboard back panel to pop into position. And I'm compressing the air seat clear to nothing. My point there is not how much like a bench press. My point there is there's never been an interior kit in my life that you've had to push with everything it would take to lift 300 pounds to pop a plastic-backed cardboard shelf and interior together. And that's exactly what I'm having to do to get this stuff to go back in. Fucking Germans. Anyway, stupid German engineering. It's like this panel. You take this off, there's 3 screws, and this slides in a series of clips. Okay, we did that. We've had the roof off. We could not get this headliner back. We ended up taking the roof off, and so it tucks in, and this pops in a series of clips. And I'll take you guys up top here to better display this. But subbed headliner doesn't fit, pressed, you know, until my muscles are ready to bulge out, and still doesn't fit. Now we had to take the roof off, and I'll take you up there and I'll show you. We'll go up top here, and here's this stupid black plastic trim thing, and it goes on here. Then this cab shell here, or the roof, this black thing actually goes on over it. So it's like they have the ROPS sitting there, and I don't know if this pulls on from the top down or somehow it goes up and over, but regardless, it goes over the other trim panel. So if you want to really do this cab right, or reupholster it correctly, you'd have to take the windows out, take fenders out, take the cab off the machine to get it to where you need it to be. Anyway, we can't press this roof down because we're actually up, and you can see this rib right here off my finger is actually sitting and pushing on the current headliner, and that comes up through that square in that welded ROPS. So we're really scratching our heads here trying to figure out, and this is like the 3rd headliner from John Deere, because the other ones wouldn't even, the radio beazles wouldn't even fit in it. So I know they've subbed it. It fits like crap. I don't know if I should send it back and try like a FAR company one, see if it would happen to fit better, because what we're getting through John Deere is not working at all, and I can't seem to get this interior put together in the slightest bit. So yeah, my frustration is starting to get pretty deep here. We'll go backwards in timeline pictures here. But why we wanted this little 6420, it's basically a modern day 4020. It's 97 PTO horsepower, almost identical to a 4020. It's a little heavier, and yes, we do have a loader that will be going on this. This will be used for augers, bush hog work, things like that. 4020 will probably go away. We just don't have much use for an open station tractor anymore besides to move things in and out of a building. We bought this little tractor, and the reason we bought it was because the options, and these are not very easy to find with the options that you want, because there are so many options. With this tractor, it was very rough when we purchased it. You go all the way back to like a 7810 or 7800 or an old Soundgarden cab, you're going to be stuck with the small 7s on the same basic platform as this tractor, is the longer hood. So back to this interior from hell here, you can even see here this headliner actually does like a swoop, and I can't get this corner to fit very good. And then over here around this black plastic edge, back to this problematic area, it's not even wanting to stay in here, because it's like the thing's cut short, and these are actually pushed in a little bit this way. So if we push this roof down, it might pop this out, but the support's already landed across here, so I'm actually afraid it's just going to buckle the upholstery. We're going to try that here in a minute to see what we can do to get this roof cap put back on. It's a nice little tractor. We really like the little tractor. That's why we wanted it. And we really liked the way it was optioned. But we knew it was rough when we bought it. And we knew it would need work. Probably a little bit more than we expected. But, you know, so it goes, because that's just the way these things are. It seems like anything you buy used always needs 10 times more than you expect it to. And it's still got some paint to work out on it. But it's coming along. But this interior was basically unexpected to have this many problems, and I did talk about this tractor some in previous videos if you follow along with the channel. But if you have one of these little tractors for 6,000 or 7,000 series, and you are going to be doing an interior kit on it, be prepared to rip your hair out, because that's where I'm at with the project. Exhaust, somebody had stood on it and broke it clear off, ended up buying a new one. They come with a new deal here we ended up buying, but then this heat shield was just gone out of the book, and this cover was gone off the tractor. Oil filters behind here, obviously people got sick, but just threw it away. So this loader here, they sold these in early and a late. This is the late series, a couple of updates on it, 620 loader. We actually had to cut this and notch it. The early ones didn't have these. These are just a guard in case you drive in your window. But it would not fit around this heat shield. Excuse me for the cough, guys. I've been fighting some flu. But this would not fit around this heat shield, and they don't label any of this in parts. It's actually just like gone. It's just, I cannot believe it doesn't say NLA or something like that on there, which is no longer available. It's just gone like it was never existed. Yeah, we looked up on Google other pictures of this thing, and they all had the heat shield and the same exhaust. So another debacle, another very poor design or very poor layout. And that's just what we've been fighting with this whole way through on this little tractor. If you look at those pictures, we had the hood up. The reason we had all that done is we actually had to lift the engine up a ways, replace all the motor mounts and several other things in there. So we're working our way through it, but this interior is just, it's just something else. And I'm going to try to get some better pictures here to incorporate in. So there's this crossbar, and there's the headliner, and that's the bezel there, that plastic, and it slides up underneath these tabs here, and that's what holds up where that radio is at. What's happening with this headliner, I don't know if it's too tall or what. I wish I had my third arm so I could show you guys or point this out, but I'm trying to hold the roof with one hand and film with the other. But this piece here is hitting the top of this and not letting the roof go down, which this roof seals around this outer edge, or this cap. And you can see there's seals out like right in this region here too. And this is what keeps the dirt out, and other seals there. But how's it going to seal when this crossbar, and I don't really feel like taking a die grinder and cutting this crossbar out. And again, this is not the number one headliner. This is we're several in here, and we're still having issues. I'm just really fit to be tied is why we're not able to get this thing to line up or to fit on here and get this buttoned up. And here's some pictures of that roof where it absolutely will not fit. You can see the fuzzy parts, the headliner and that crossbar, which looks like it should go down and around, but possibly the headliner is molded wrong, but it's the exact same thing every single time you order it, and the roof just won't strap down. And there you can see where they're at. You can see that crossbar. If you do smash the headliner down, you're going to have a big seam mesh in your whole roof of your cab down inside. The headliner was literally shredded when we bought this tractor, so I don't know what it's supposed to look like. And that's part of the problem. But the fit and finish of this stuff is terrible. They've obviously vendored it out and subbed it, and it doesn't fit at all. I'm at a temporary loss with what to do, and we got snow coming in. You can see out the window there, and probably going to be drifting. Really need to have the second loader up and going. And not that the headliner is going to stop using the tractor, but it kind of does, because that's what holds all the wiring harnesses and everything up. Plus you're just going to use a bunch of duct tape, and what are you going to do, run with an open roof? Yeah, frustrated. We actually racked up more hours on the little 6120M tractor than any of the other ones, or maybe even more than a couple of the others combined. It's a very useful little tractor with all-around abilities. And no doubt the little 6420 will also be getting used in these duties. What you're seeing here right now, hay, is very time-consuming. That is set to dwindle some, but not be extinguished. And while I'd like to give you guys an unveiling video of that 6420, or a time-lapse video, what happened instead was a lot of frustration. Now we're up against the holidays where you literally cannot get parts at all because everybody's closed. And my father's solution was to call John Deere and talk to somebody about the fit of that headliner, which you'd be lucky to get anybody. I'd like to know that phone number, by the way, but you'd be lucky to get a secretary who will never return your phone call. And if you get onto the parts department, the best they're going to do is order you another one, because the parts guys there are lucky even to get you your part, or the right part for that fact. Nobody gives a shit. I do think I'll go to the Far company, which makes brand X interiors, and see if theirs just happens to fit better. And perhaps we should have went to the Far company in the first place because the cost is half of what John Deere. I guess for their upholstery, although the Far company does not offer a full upholstery kit for that model tractor. So again, if you have one of these little tractors and you're going to set to do an interior job on it, and that's 6,000 and 7,000 small frames in those categories like 6,000, 26,000, 30s, prepare yourself to go through hell. There's always things happening in our operation. Appreciate you guys tagging along. We are moving in the right direction with our fields, our farm work, and our equipment. I'm very happy about the future coming. You guys will just have to stick around for the ride. Appreciate the viewership. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.